The first card you have for your past is the Five of Swords, yes. Yeah, this is what's been happening to me. People stabbing me in the back. But this is about you. So I'm laughing. I mean, I know this isn't a great card, but I'm laughing. I have to laugh because I always see this in your readings. Every single time I see this. Jealous people, people talking about you behind your back. Aries are the most talked about sign usually. And, you know, they're the ones that stand out the most usually, for good or bad reasons or whatever else. I'm laughing because I'm Aries myself. I can say this. But yes, I am seeing some people talking about you, spending a lot of energy on talking behind your back. And, you know, basically there are some jealous people who want what you have. I'm getting this feeling that at least one of these people sort of, you know, even resents you a bit. And I think they resent your boldness. They resent your boldness. I'm seeing someone kind of thinking something like, you know, how can they get away with that? It's not fair. I'm a nice person. They're not. Why do they have this? Why can they do that and I can't? It's that kind of thing. Now, you're a nice person. I think you are, of course. But you know, the thing is, you're a real person. You're a real person and you say what you think. I'm a real person too. I might burst into tears in the middle of this reading. I don't know, because I've been through so much stress. I'm about to cry now. I'm not going to. So, yeah. And I think, you know, you're a real person. This is what I've seen. You're a real person. You just say what you think. And, you know, you are mindful, especially when you're in a work situation or a business setting. You don't do things like, you don't tell your boss he's ugly or anything like that. Or maybe you do. I don't know. But it's this honesty that is a good thing. It's a good thing. It makes people trust you. People know that if they ask you a question, you're going to give them a real answer, that you're going to tell them the truth. But, you know, I think, back to this again, back to this Five of Swords, I think the success that this person sees you having actually doesn't have anything to do with, you know, what your personality is like. I think it might be a lot to do with your work ethic. You know, you put the hours in. You really, really put the hours in. And not many people are prepared to put the amount of hours in that you do. And I think if these jealous people, especially this one specific person who resents you, I think if they spent their time doing work rather than concentrating on you and what you're doing, obviously they'd be a lot more successful themselves. But I mean, you know that. And I think, again, you're used to this. You're used to this by now. You're used to this kind of jealousy, this kind of resentment of other people. It comes out every single time in your readings. It'll probably be in next week's one and next year's one and whatever. So the next card you have your past is the Four of Cups. Yeah, okay, I hope this isn't too confusing. It's a bit confusing. I'm seeing a bit of confusion here. Yeah, there are a few things in this card. I think someone might have been popping into your mind, kind of coming into your mind without you wanting them to come into your mind, if that makes sense. I think this is someone who you've been over. I think this is a romantic connection, a love connection. I think this is someone who you've been over for a long time. And I think, you know, you've been over them for a long time, but I think this person just suddenly started coming back into your mind recently. And, you know, you might have been thinking something like, why are they coming back into my mind now? Why now? And it might have even been years since you last saw this person. It might be something like that. And I think you might have been back in touch with someone who's still around this person, or someone that reminds you of the time that you were with them. Maybe they're a mutual friend, or maybe there's someone who lives in the same area as them, or someone that was kind of you knew around the time that you knew them. And I think because you're back in contact with this other person, it's kind of triggering this memory of this person. That's what I'm seeing. And I think this triggered this memory of this person, and I think it might have even tempted you to look them up on social media. And I think there's a bit of frustration around that as well, because I think they might have their things set up as private or something like that. But anyway, I think there might have been a lot of feelings that you were suppressing as well for a long, long time. I think you might have been thinking, no, I'm over them, I'm over them, I'm over them, I'm over them. But I think the thing was, maybe there wasn't any closure or proper closure around this situation. I am seeing a lot of question marks around this. So maybe there's unfinished business between you. And I think that, I think if you were to contact them now, which I don't think you'd want to do, but I think if you did, I think it would probably lead to even more frustration for you. I don't think you'd get any kind of closure. I hate the word closure, but it's the only one that comes into my mind at this time. But yeah, maybe, I think maybe at some time in the future you might actually want to contact them. Now, I can hear you saying, no, I'm never going to contact them. I don't want them. I hate them. I'm not going to talk to them ever again. But I am seeing that sometime in your future this might happen. I think that at this time it's not the right time. I think even in your immediate future it won't be the right time, but I think maybe way down the line in the future at some time you might talk to them again. I think you probably will. So don't be afraid. Don't think, no, I don't want to. By the time you talk to them, I think you'll be in a better frame of mind to be able to do that. It'll be totally different. You'll feel totally different at that time. That's what I'm seeing. So don't be angry. Don't say no. Well, you can say no, I don't mind. The last card you have for your future is the King of Wands. So you had all of that going on in the Four of Cups, all of these kind of memories and all these kind of weird feelings coming up again. And I think there are even more weird feelings, I think, coming up in this card, because I think I'm actually seeing a lot of backwards and forwards thinking going on in your mind, and backwards and forwards emotions as well. And I think, yeah, they were going on in this, what was happening in the Four of Cups, this memory, but I think this is something different again that was bothering you. And I think this is something that you knew was going to happen, something that you knew was about to happen. I don't think this thing has happened yet, even now, but I think at this time you're anticipating this thing happening. Now, I think you might have been planning something, or you were thinking about planning something, and I think you'd been thinking about planning this for a long time, maybe even over a year. And I think at this time you're starting to stress because it was becoming a reality. That's what I'm seeing. Now, you wanted this to happen logically. You, in your mind, you're saying, I know this is the right thing to happen. I want this to happen. This is going to be good for me. But then in your emotions, there were a lot of, there was a lot of stress and a lot of kind of nervousness and worry and all of that kind of thing around this. And, if you look at this king, he looks as if he's about to get up and go. He wants to get up and go. He wants to do whatever this thing is, but he's hesitating and he's thinking. He has a lot of thoughts going around and around in his mind. There's a salamander or a lizard just behind his head. It's sort of running around in circles, chasing its tail, actually going around and around and around. And this is what's in his mind, all these kind of thoughts, and he has to sort out all these kind of mixed up thoughts before he can actually move forward. And so you knew that you had to move forward and do this thing. It was going to happen. It was the right thing for you. But your emotions and all these thoughts and everything were all mixed up, and you're like, oh, I don't know if I should do this. It's really terrible. My emotions, and I'm anxious and I'm nervous, and all of that kind of thing was going on. I think this is what I'm seeing. If this resonates with you, no matter what you're thinking or feeling, no matter how much anxiety this is or whatever's going on in your head or your heart or whatever, this is going to go ahead. This is going to happen, and it's going to go well. I can see it's going to go well. And I think you also have some people supporting you at this time, and you will at this time when this thing happens. So I think you should probably talk to some of these people if you can. I think it'll help you to get some feelings and things off your chest. I think this is something you need to do. Talk this out. Get it out of your head. That's what I'm seeing you need to do. I hope that wasn't too crazy. I'm a bit crazy in my emotions as well at this time. So the first card you have for your present, well, I always am, is the Tower. Yes. So this is exactly what you need. Okay, so don't be too stressed about this. I don't think this is as bad as it looks. I think this might be this thing that you're worried about. I think this is still about that, this thing that's going to happen. And this is just about all your stress. This is about what's going on inside your head. Again, this is not going to be a disaster. This is just how you're feeling. I think you're really afraid of something. You're really afraid of this thing that's going to happen turning into a disaster, like what's happening on this card. It's like a nightmare. What's happening on this card is obviously happening at night time. It's dark, but a nightmare or a dream isn't a reality. It's just that, it's a dream. It's not going to happen. It is not going to be a disaster. I have to keep on telling you that. You're just anxious, you're just stressed, you're just worried. It's just what's in your mind. It's going to be fine. I keep on seeing that. I'm not just saying that, I'm not. And I think you might be worried a bit about people's perceptions of you changing after this thing happens. And I think you might be worrying about your reputation as well. Now, again, I'm not seeing any of these things that you're stressed about actually happening. I'm looking at the crown on this card. So again, I think it might be worried. You might be worried about your reputation, that you had the crown on your head and it's going to fall off when people perceive you in a different way after this disaster that you're imagining in your head is going to happen. It's not going to be a disaster. Or you might also be worried that you're going to be caught unprepared with this, like the poor people on this card wearing their pajamas or whatever, being caught out in the middle of the night. It's a bit like that dream that a lot of people have. That dream where you're late for school or work and you're in your pajamas and you're running down the road and everyone's watching you and it's really embarrassing. And you're lost and you can't find your way and all of that kind of thing. And I shouldn't laugh. I know you're going through a lot of anxiety. I am too. But I have to keep saying, I know I'm going to sound really boring and really repetitive, especially for Aries. You don't like boring things, but I have to say this. This is not going to be a disaster, and I'm not just saying that. It's not. If this resonates, again, try to do something to calm yourself as much as you can. Please try your best. I know you can't. I know it's hard. I'm Aries. When I get stressed, I'm really stressed. Do whatever you can to calm yourself. That's what I'm seeing there. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. The next card you have, your present, is the Ace of Cups. So yeah, again, stay calm. Try to calm your emotions as much as you can. Try to feel as peaceful as you can around this. Again, I'm not seeing any problems. I'm actually seeing everything going really well around this. I'm also seeing that after you've done whatever this thing is, you're going to feel so much more peaceful. I'm just looking at the dove on this card and it's traveling into this cup. It's going into this process. It's stressed, there are tears, there are problems. But when it comes out the other end, there's a truck going past. Of course there is. When you come out the other end of this horrible, difficult process that you're all stressing about and you find out that everything's fine and nothing's wrong, you will grow. There are some water lilies at the bottom of this card. So this is showing me that out of stress, out of tears, out of emotion comes growth. And you're going to get through this. It's going to be okay. And then you're going to say to yourself, I did this. I did this. I could do this. Now I can do anything now that I've done this. I can now do this and that and the other thing. It's going to really help you to grow. And so this is going to be a positive thing. So don't concentrate on all the things. I know it's hard, but try not to concentrate on all the things that you're imagining are going to go wrong. Concentrate on that growth. Concentrate on this. Just sit there and imagine, this is over. I've done this. I feel amazing. I'm sitting in my chair. It's all done. Now I can relax and I can go to sleep and I don't have to worry about it again. And I've accomplished this and I feel amazing. I can do more things. Try and fast forward yourself into the time when you finish this. That might help you. I don't know if it will, but that just came into my head. The last card you have for your present is the Page of Wands. So yes, don't be angry. I'll just tell you what I'm seeing here. This is a completely different thing. In some areas of your life, you're just able to jump ahead and do things, especially in your work. I think you might even, when it comes to work, I think you might just work and work and work until you're exhausted. But in other areas of your life, I think maybe even some important areas of your life, you stay in the planning stages and you never seem to be able to get past that stage of planning. this page is looking up to the top of this wand, and it's like he's thinking, he's thinking something like, will I ever be able to do this? How am I going to do this? I don't know how I'm going to do this. I'm kind of stuck in this plan, in this stage. I'm not able to get up to the top of this wand. I'm looking at it, but I can't get up to the top of it. And I think sometimes with things that you're scared of or you're nervous or anxious about, it can feel safe sometimes for things to be in the planning stages, because it could feel as if something's being done. You can say to yourself, oh, well, I'm planning that, I'm planning on that, I'm working on it, it's sitting there, I've started on it, but nothing's actually happening on these things. It just feels safe to say something's happening, but you're not actually doing anything. And there are a lot of imbalances in your life, I think, and to get these things moving, because you want to get them moving, you're probably frustrating yourself by not getting them moving. Maybe think about the areas of your life where you work and you seem to get everything done and more than everything done. Think about how you feel in this more successful area of your life, and maybe try to transfer this feeling and this attitude in the successful area into the other areas. Think about how you feel. Just think about, when I'm getting this work done, I feel really good and I know I can do this, I'm sure of this, and I get this done. I'm exhausted, I'm tired, but I still do it. Something's pushing me to do it. Think about what's pushing you and use that to push you in the other areas. Try and think about that. Ask you questions. Maybe think about, think about things like, how do I feel when I do this? And all of these things, and try and transfer that over. I know I'm repeating myself. I'm sorry about that. So, yeah, I don't know if any of this makes sense. I'm bumbling my words because I'm kind of stressing out myself. This is kind of applying to me as well. But yeah, I hope that made some sense to you. I hope that applying what you feel like in the successful areas to the other not as successful areas might work for you. I just hope that makes sense, and my apologies if it doesn't. The first card you have for your future is the Queen of Swords. So yeah, I think once this thing's all over, this thing that I'm seeing you stressing about is finished and you're more relaxed and you feel a bit better, I think you might start to think a little bit more about this person I was seeing in the Four of Cups. But this is the Queen of Swords. So at this time, even though you're going to be thinking about this person, you're going to have some defensive feelings toward them, I think. I think you might find yourself around this person's energy again for some reason. That might sound a bit strange, but I think you might find yourself around some people who know this person. Maybe you're going to find yourself around some mutual friends that have something to do with this person, and they're going to make you feel as if you're around this person's energy. I hope that makes sense. I was seeing a similar thing in the Four of Cups, actually, this feeling of being reminded of this person again because you're around either mutual friends or people who remind you of this person. And then that triggers these feelings for them. Now, you probably don't want to admit this, but there are feelings. You do have feelings for this person. Every time I see this person come up in this reading, I see you either rejecting your feelings or feeling defensive. But you do have mixed feelings around this person, but the feelings are there. They're definitely there. There's some unfinished business between you, I'm seeing. And I think at some time in your future, you're going to see this person again. And I think you're probably going to see them face to face, actually. I don't want to scare you. I don't want to make you upset or angry or defensive, because that's your reaction when you think about this person. But yeah, again, I don't think I'm seeing you with them at this time, or talking to them at this time, or even sometime in your more distant future. This is going to happen way ahead in your future, when you're feeling a lot different to how you are now. At this time, you're defensive. In your future, you're not going to feel as defensive. I'm not saying you're going to get together at some time in your future or anything like that. You might. But what I'm seeing is a resolution, some kind of resolution, some kind of closure to this unfinished business. That's what I'm seeing happening at some time in your future. The next card you have for your future is the Eight of Wands. This is a positive card. This is very positive. I'm seeing a lot of popularity in this card. I'm seeing people wanting to talk to you. I'm seeing people wanting to listen to you. And I think I'm seeing you kind of going out with a lot of people. And there's a lot of love here with this group of people. Not romantic love, but kind of a friendship kind of love. You're going to go out with these people, you're going to have a lot of relaxed talk with them, and you're going to feel really good. You're just going to really enjoy this time with these people. And I think you're going to enjoy this so much that you're going to want to do this all over again, maybe more than once, maybe more than twice. I think you're going to go out with these people again and enjoy your time with them. Again, I'm not seeing romantic love here, but there is love here. I don't know whether this is a group of friends that you're going out with. It probably is. I'm not seeing this as these mutual friends that I was seeing in the Queen of Swords, because this is not uncomfortable at all. There's no stress. There's no kind of defensiveness around this time. When you're with these people, you're perfectly comfortable. You're feeling relaxed. You're at ease with all of those people. And you're spending time with them. There's love there. There's happiness there. And you're going to repeat this again. You're going to see these people again, and you're going to make more dates in the future to go out with them and spend time with them again. And I think this is a really good thing to see. It sounds like it's not very important. Oh, I'm going out with friends. So what? Who cares about that in a reading, right? But it's important too. This is an important time for you. The fact that you can relax, take all of these things off your mind and just release the stress. And I think this is the group of people who have a lot of love for you, and you're going to be able to offload all of your stress onto them as well, and that's going to help you as well. That's what I'm seeing. The last card you have for your future is the Six of Cups. So this card can be about families, reunions, nostalgia, all of that kind of thing. So I think this is also showing me you being around some people from your past, and maybe having your feelings stirred up a bit again. I am seeing this face-to-face meeting again with this person from your past. Again, I don't think it's going to happen soon. I think you're going to be around some people who remind you of them. Probably that's going to happen soon, but I don't see this actual meeting happening for a long time with this one person. I think, when you do meet them, it might be sort of polite, diplomatic, and I think, you'll eventually open up a lot more with them. You'll have talks with them where you'll probably both start to just open up and start that process of getting that closure happening with them. But I'm definitely seeing this whole thing moving very, very slowly. I think, this is the best pace to go for both of you. Very slowly, gradually, at the right time. And again, don't stress about coming face to face with this person. It's not like they're going to come and suddenly be in front of your face when you're not ready. This is going to happen at a time in your distant future, when you are calmer, when you are ready, when you've resolved a lot of these things inside yourself. And then that time will be the right time for you to see that person again. That's what I'm seeing.